EastEnders. It's had us glued to our screens for the last 25 years, with some of the best cliffhangers in TV history. Now, we're finally going to find out who has had the most cliffhangers of all. Cue the drums.
Dum 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 dum.
Don't worry, these people haven't gone mad. They're talking duff-duffs, the cliffhangery bit at the end of EastEnders. But who could possibly have the most?
I've no idea.
My guess would be...
Could it be him? Phil?
Peggy Mitchell.
Peggy Mitchell. I'm gonna go for Deb.
Ian Beale? Maybe Dot.
Or me. I wouldn't put money on any of them, really.
Now, for those of you who've missed the previous shows as we counted down 100 to 21, let me remind you what a duff-duff actually is. Take a look at this classic cliffhanger.
Who is this woman? I've never seen her before in my life.
She knows exactly who I am. And her name ain't Judith Bernstein. It's Janine Butcher. I should know. I'm her stepmother. And she's about as Jewish as a bacon sandwich.
Now concentrate, this is the science part. They build the drama.
And her name ain't Judith Bernstein. It's Janine Butcher. I should know. I'm her stepmother.
Pat delivers the bombshell.
And she's about as Jewish as a bacon sandwich.
But it's Janine who steals the duff-duff with an expert duff-duff face. One more duff-duff to Janine Butcher. Brace yourselves as it's time to find out who's had the most duff-duffs in the final part of our countdown. Before we get on with the chart, let's remind ourselves of some of the cliffhangers we've previously seen from numbers 100 to 21.
Can somebody help me? This may not be the first time that this has happened to you.
Still something to remember me by.
Somebody help me, please! He's taken my children!
Who could possibly be number one? There's only one way to find out, so let's get going with the chart. Kicking off the top 20, it's Albert Square's timid little wallflower.
Cat Slater, dirty old scrubber!
When I say wallflower, I mean the gobbiest bird in Walford.
I wanted to dart, is that a problem?
Constantly up for a catfight, the feisty Slater sister back-chatted her way around Albert Square.
You filthy scumbag!
Armed with her potent secret weapon, the power slap.
What a great character.
Cat burst onto the square back in 2000, tanned, glam, and always on the lookout for a man.
Come on then, boys! One at a time or all at once?
But her wild ways were really a cry for help when Cat revealed one of EastEnders' most shocking secrets ever. Zoe Slater wasn't her sister, but was in fact her daughter, after Cat was raped by her Uncle Harry. But the story doesn't end there. Full up on poppadoms at the local argy-bargy, Zoe revealed her own little bombshell.
My favourite ever duff-duff is the Cat and Zoe one. Uncle Harry's asked me to go and work at his pub in Spain, and I said yes.
We knew that Cat was Zoe's mum and had to stop it.
You ain't going anywhere, Ashby!
Cat, leave it.
No.
Zoe left and Cat followed her.
Dressed in, of course, red and black, you know, Cat's signature look. And Michelle's face as she was striding out.
I'm going, there ain't nothing you can do about it! Do you want it back?
And Zoe got really fed up with this.
You can't tell me what to do, you ain't my mother!
Jessie was standing behind her and did that fantastic scream.
Yes, I am!
And it was a powerful scene.
It made you want to weep.
And from one loudmouth to another at number 19, we're keeping it in the family with Cat's younger cousin.
Stacey Slater, ice skater.
Stacey arrived in Walford in 2004, a chip off the old Slater block.
Got an eyeful, have ya? You know your problem, didn't you? You need to chill.
After getting busy with father-in-law Max, she was caught out and humiliated on Christmas Day. You'd have thought Stacey would have learned to rein it in.
Are you listening? I said leave Sean alone!
I love Stacey.
She's become a very strong character.
She can be really leery, she says what she thinks.
I'm back on the market! And so is Bradley if you like rubbish, sex and loads of cuddles.
After the death of best mate Danielle and going on one almighty bender, Stacey returned to the square.
Stacey blonde and a mess. It looks like she's been through 15 different hedges.
It wasn't my idea, that look, I can tell you now.
She looks a shadow of her former self. I think the state she's in is obviously upsetting.
And with a change in image came a change in attitude.
Stacey returned on a sort of low point. If she's on a come down, she's feeling low, so she's come home to be with the people that she really does need to be with.
And that was the start of us playing the story a bit bigger and showing her disintegration.
Her downward spiral showed off Stacey's finest cliffhanger moments as she tackled one of EastEnders' most hard-hitting storylines of 2009.
It's such a sensitive subject and it happens so much, you know, and it is real and it does happen to people. And I was worried that, you know, I needed to be sure and I wanted to get it as right as I could.
Well, you want me to tidy up, is that it? Tidy up?
Yes, amongst other things.
No, it's fine, that's not a problem. That's no problem at all. That's just fine.
I felt quite honoured, really, that they trusted me with that.
What's wrong with me then? What, you some sort of doctor? What's your diagnosis then, doctor?
We know she's going slightly crazy. She doesn't.
She constantly felt like people were looking at her all the time. What do you like what you see?
The heart of it is the end, is the cliffhanger, or the duff-duffs, as always. And it was the idea that she suddenly realises she's got the same illness as her mother.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm normal. That is her in complete and utter denial. I'm completely normal.
You can see in her eyes that she's just trying to tell herself that that's true.
I am, Mum. I'm completely normal.
Next up, it's the square's cheekiest barman as Alfie Moon sneaks in to take 18th place.
A clean bar is a happy bar, Duchess. There was a cheekable, lovable rogue quality about him.
Charming his way across Walford, Alfie was as cockney as they come.
Bird wears red, ready for bed.
With a weakness for some questionable-looking shirts. He not only had a lust for life, but a lust for local girl Kat Slater. And the nation got their wish when the pair finally got it on. But the relationship was over before it even began.
And people shout, yo, why don't you just tell her how you feel? And people shout at me, oh, Alfie, just tell Kat how you feel. He finally is going to get the courage to tell Kat. And she goes away and she comes back and she introduces us to Andy Hunter.
Now, if you were ever to tell a lady you love her, it's probably best not to wait until she's about to say I do to the local East End hard nut.
I know you don't want to marry him and that you want to marry me.
Yeah, I suggest you shut your mouth, son.
But who does she choose? Andy or Alfie? Andy? Alfie? Andy? Ah, Alfie.
Finally, Kat and Alfie, they're going to be together.
Hey, trust me, because I am a publican.
And 2 years later, it was a true EastEnders happy ending when the pair eventually left the square in style.
Is it forever?
It's forever and ever, I swear.
As they rode off into the night in Alfie's clapped-out banger on Christmas Day. And it was all thanks to Alfie's #1 fan.
Grandma, we love you. Grandma, we do.
He'd been more brought up by his grandmother, and they were incredibly close, and you could see that little boy in him when he was with her.
But Alfie's finest cliffhanger came in one of EastEnders' most tearful exits yet. And it wasn't even his own.
I'll always be here for you. You know that, don't you?
All Alfie wanted to do was to make it to Christmas. You know, so they could have the last Christmas day together.
Oh, and again, eh?
Okay. I remember filming that scene. I turned my back on her, and I got a wind-up toy. Uh-oh. And I turned round. Nana! Nana, darling. And I realised my Nana's died. Nana. Nana... Not yet, eh?